Yeast. Outdoor versus indoor cognitive motor therapy in Alzheimer's disease. What if the cure for a deteriorating mind was literally just outside? Right now, across nursing homes and care facilities worldwide, people with Alzheimer's disease are spending their days indoors. Fluorescent lights, climate control, carefully managed environments designed to keep them safe and calm. But a team of researchers in the Czech Republic just asked a question that sounds almost too simple. What if we took them outside instead? And what they found might genuinely change how we think about treating one of the diseases we fear most. This isn't about some miracle cure or a medication breakthrough. It's weirder and more hopeful than that. It's about sunlight, fresh air, and the unexpected power of place itself. Here's the problem science was trying to solve. Alzheimer's disease doesn't just steal memories, it destroys the person's ability to function, interact, and engage with the world. Medications help a little, but the real deterioration keeps happening. What's emerged over the past 15 years is a different idea. What if we could slow that decline not with pills, but with interventions that stimulate both the brain and the body at the same time? Cognitive motor therapy, basically brain exercises paired with physical movement, has shown genuine promise in long-term care settings. But here's what nobody really knew. Does it matter where you do it? Does the environment itself change the outcome? That gap is exactly what Michal Vostrý and his research team at J. University in the Czech Republic decided to investigate. Their study landed in Scientific Reports in July 2026, and it's the kind of work that sounds simple until you realize the scope of what they actually did. Here's what they set up. 50 institutionalized women with late-stage Alzheimer's disease, aged 66 to 70, were randomly divided into two groups. One group participated in cognitive motor therapy sessions outdoors. The other group did the exact same therapy at the exact same intensity for the exact same duration. The only difference was location. Both groups trained 5 times a week for 45 minutes over 7 months. The therapy itself involved memory games, attention exercises, and physical movement exercises together. Think of it like Tai Chi meets cognitive training. To make it even more rigorous, the people assessing the outcomes didn't know which women had done outdoor therapy and which had done indoor therapy. That's why it's called single-blind. The researchers were measuring global cognitive performance, functional abilities, how often people actually showed up, and how feasible it all was to actually run in real-world care facilities. Now for what actually happened. Both groups improved. Let's start there, because that's genuinely meaningful. After 7 months, the women in both the outdoor and indoor groups showed measurable improvements in cognitive performance. That alone is significant. You don't usually see that in Alzheimer's disease. You typically see decline. But both interventions seemed to slow or reverse some of that decline. Here's where it gets interesting. The outdoor group improved more. We're not talking about a tiny margin. The cognitive gains in the outdoor group were substantially larger than the indoor group. When they tested global cognition, basically the full spectrum of mental ability, the outdoor group showed more robust preservation of function. That's meaningful in someone's actual life. It's the difference between being able to recognize family members reliably and occasionally. It's the difference between managing basic self-care and needing constant hands-on assistance. The functional outcomes told a similar story. Women in the outdoor group maintained better ability to perform daily living tasks. They were more independent. They required less direct intervention from caregivers. The indoor group improved too, but not as much. But here's what really stood out. The attendance rates were dramatically different. People in the outdoor program showed up more consistently, showed up more enthusiastically. Engagement was higher. Sessions felt less like a clinical intervention and more like something people actually wanted to participate in. That matters enormously because you can design the perfect therapy, but if nobody participates, it doesn't work. From a practical standpoint, the researchers found that running outdoor therapy was actually feasible in real care facilities. Yes, there are logistics to work out. Weather matters, you need staff trained differently, but it's not impossibly complicated, and the enthusiasm it generated, both from participants and from the care staff, suggested it could actually be implemented at scale. The limitations matter here. This was a pilot study with 50 women in one country. It wasn't massive. We don't know if these results would hold in men or in different climates or in different types of care settings. The 7-month duration is good, but Alzheimer's disease progresses over years. We don't know if outdoor therapy keeps working long-term or if people adapt and the benefits plateau. But the signal is there, and the signal is striking. What this really suggests is that we've been thinking about Alzheimer's care wrong. We've treated the setting as incidental, just a place where therapy happens. But the evidence here hints that the environment itself is part of the treatment. Natural light, sensory input, the complexity of an outdoor environment, the psychological effect of being outside, all of that might matter as much as the exercises themselves. This challenges a core assumption in long-term care. For decades, the thinking has been that people with advanced dementia need controlled, predictable, simple environments to prevent confusion and agitation. And sure, safety matters, but this study suggests that challenge and stimulation and complexity might actually be better for the brain than protection and simplification. The bigger implication is almost unsettling. If environment shapes cognition and recovery this powerfully, we're essentially asking, how many other interventions have we tested wrong? How many treatments have we underestimated because we delivered them indoors in clinical settings when they should have been delivered in richly stimulating natural environments? This opens a door to something the field hasn't fully explored. Alzheimer's disease has been framed as essentially irreversible. You manage it, you slow it, but you don't reverse it. But what if the right combination of cognitive stimulation, physical movement, and environmental richness could actually push back against it more than we thought? What if the brain's plasticity in Alzheimer's disease is higher than we assumed? That's the real question Vostrý's team has planted, and it's going to take much larger, longer studies to answer it. The single most striking finding isn't that outdoor therapy works, it's that the setting itself might be medicine. And if a place can heal, then we've been building our care facilities fundamentally wrong. Here's the question that should follow you out of this video. If we know environment shapes cognitive outcomes, why are most care facilities still designed to be as sterile and controlled as possible? Turns out, scientists have been busy, and they're not done yet.